Incoming transmission.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to a very special transmission from the Outpost Nerd. I'm the nerd of the Outpost, and I hope everyone is having a great weekend because today's a very special day. It is the day that the world was graced with my birth. It is the day of my birth. I am now level 36, as I like to say. I'm old, as my friend Andrew Wahoo so graciously put it. Thanks, dude. So tonight, I just wanted to share, stream, talk about what's been going on, about the shows that been going on. So I hope everyone is having a good day. So the big show, the big thing going on right now, and I believe it's almost over. It's got 2 more episodes left. Hey, what's up, T-Rex? Thank you. Appreciate it, dude. No, but let's see. Let me bring it up. And I'll be doing more in-depth kind of talk about my views on the show. So, Ahsoka, it's not the worst Disney Plus Star Wars, but it's certainly not the best. It's I think it's trying to ride the coattails of Rebels. Rebels was such a good show. It was a good ensemble show. It really it had the characters. They were balanced. They were each had their own speciality. That no one was more important than another. Everyone was part of a great whole of the team. You know, I don't see that in so I've certainly seen a lot of it's less of the Ahsoka show and more of the Sabine show. You know, I think that they're wanting to by focusing on her character, they're wanting to once again ride the coattails of the Mandalorian. So this to me is just a piss poor version of Ahsoka. So I was kind of disappointed. One, I kind of iffy about the casting. Rosario Dawson, I thought was a strange choice for Ahsoka, live action Ahsoka. I would have liked to see someone else, maybe. Um, it's and I know it's a difficult job taking animated characters and translating them into live action. Um, Mary Elizabeth Winstead as Hera was. I liked her. I liked her in Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She's a great actress. I just don't. I didn't. I think they played these characters too young. Some of these characters are too young. Some of them are too old. But it also, I think, in help in with her, it didn't hurt that who her husband is. Let me. She's married to Ewan McGregor. She's married to Space Jesus Obi-Wan. So I don't think it was that difficult for her to uh, get the job. She was Ramona Flowers in Scott Pilgrim versus the World, one of great show. I don't remember who she was in Birds of Prey because I couldn't finish that movie. Remember Sky High, which came out when I was in high school. I really liked that movie. She was the baddie in that. What other movies was she been in? Let's see. Death Proof. She was in Death Proof, Gemini Man. Horrible. Um, Will Smith movie. Good Day to Die Hard. Yes, I remember her in that. Who was she in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter? She was Mary Todd Lincoln. She was Abraham Lincoln's wife in that movie. Let's see, what else was she in? I mean, like I said, it's been, I think I read it's been 10 years. It's in between Return of the Jedi and this one. It's set along the lines of around the time of the Mandalorian. So it's between the Galactic Civil War and the rise of the First Order. See, so the reviewers gave it 88%, which doesn't surprise me. The reviewers, they don't give Disney less than 80%. And 74, which this kind of surprises me with the just. I think, like I said, it's riding the hype. So I think that 74% is a lot of fans of Rebels thinking we're going to see another Rebel. But they've Rebels without any of the men in it. If you've noticed that, the only male character from Rebel was Jason Hera's son, and now Ezra. And he's only been he only just showed up. So, because they're not gonna have, it looks like they are not gonna have Zeb, which was one of my favorite characters, the big alien character from Rebels. Let's see. So Part 6 came out last week, and we have two more episodes, so it's going to be a short 8 episode season. And sadly, Ray Stevenson, who plays Balin Skull, who decent bad guy, he passed away right before the season premiered. Now let's see, what was he in? Thank you, Suzanne. Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Let's see. There he is. I know I've seen him in other things. I can't remember. Let's see. Only thing I watched personally that he was in, I remember King Arthur. I like that movie. He was in Thor. He was one of the Warriors 3. He was the big one. I can never remember the names. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Bullstag. He was big Warriors 3. So sadly, he passed away right before the season came out. Let's see. Don't die. But it's kind of a letdown. um, they're really relying on nostalgia for Ahsoka. Um, they want, and that's what Disney has done a lot the past with Star Wars. The past probably 5 or 10 years, they're relying on a lot of nostalgia. They're Disney, for, like I said, past 10 years, they're wanting to bring in a bring back the fans, and they're trying to do that so hard with Ahsoka. Um, and there have been some moments. Hey, Memento, thanks for being here. Thank you. Appreciate it. There have been some moments that have been really good. Like one of my favorite shots I've ever seen. I really like this shot. It's one of the shining moments for me is when okay, Ahsoka is reunited with, spoiler alert, there are gonna be spoilers in this, but so if you don't want any spoilers, maybe mute for a little bit because I'm going to show something really I thought was badass that was really good, and I'm going to talk about this a little bit. In in Hey, thanks for being here. In one episode, Ahsoka finds herself in a place called the World Between Worlds. It's kind of like a force dimension, and guess who happens to be there? It's Anakin. Uh, One really cool thing, they brought back Hayden Christensen to play Anakin, and he has one less lesson to teach Ahsoka. Is is his is his reasoning for being there. And one of the shots, it takes her back to a war during the Clone War. So we see a lot young live action Ahsoka, and the young actors who they got to play her, I thought was really good. It was this one of the actors from uh, House of Dragon, and they really, I think, they really hit it off. Let me bring up a picture of her. Okay, let me find it. Let me find it. Let me find it. There it is. Let me show you. They really, I think, um, her name's Ariana Greenblatt. We've seen her in we saw her at, oh, what has she been in? Let me see, what has she been? I don't want Let me bring that up. Oh, she was. Let's see. Looks like she's been in quite a few for only being 16. But she was. She was young Gamora. Okay, I can see that. She was young Gamora in the event Infinity War. She was in one of the Boss Baby movies. Let's see, that was film. She played young Velma in Scoob. Yeah, she's only been in a handful of stuff. She did. I think it was really well. So she finds herself in reliving a battle in the Clone Wars. And Anakin is trying to teach her something, and I'll get to what I think. He doesn't outright say what the lesson is, but I'll explain to him when I'm done because I have to share this shot. She's seeing Anakin. She's seeing the turmoil that Anakin is having inside of him between Anakin and Darth Vader. And it's one of the coolest shots. She's following him. It's just an endless follow. She's following him into this endless battle, and you see this. It shows the duality of the character that we've known for years. It's this amazing shot. I just have to share it with you. This is one of the coolest shots. You see for a second as Anakin, as the good man she knew, and then just in a flash, he becomes. You see him as Vader. She knew that he became. And let's see, I just love that shot. Let's see. So we don't outright hear, he doesn't outright say what the lesson is, but I think it's a lesson that Anakin learned from Luke, and Anakin is now passing it on to Ahsoka. One thing I have a visitor. Ladies and gentlemen, the mouthy mama of New Jersey herself is here with me, and I'm going to bring her in. The biggest mouth, the biggest pain in my butt, and I love her for it for every minute. Shelly, talking trash and truths. Oop, there we go. Hi, Shelly.
Hi, nerd. Happy birthday.
I'm old. Give me my walker. I'm old.
Fuck you, you're old.
I'm old.
What are you, 38, 39, 42?
God, woman, you want to make every time you want to make me older than I am. And you do it just to piss me off.
No, I do it because, you're older. You look older. Look at you. You're all round and blue with things sticking out of your head. You're fucking old.
Okay, at least I'm not a cat hanging on for its dear life.
I dare you. Go ahead. Say, I'm not some black pussy hanging off a license plate. Go ahead. Say it.
I almost did. No, you were probably the one that caused that explosion in New Jersey yesterday, weren't you? There's
me?
There was
absolutely. Absolutely. It was all me.
Told you not to play with matches around the propane tank, Shelly.
No, I have stupid friends that do that and win $1 million lawsuits. So no, that was never something that happened to me.
No, there was actually I can't remember. Let me look it up. Not far from you. Yesterday, a house just blew in West Milford.
Awfully big mouth on you, huh, Shell? I'ma tell. And you know who I'ma tell.
Shame. Everyone knows the name.
Whatever.
No, it was
Hello
in
to everybody in chat. Memento, Susie. Jacob.
It was a house exploded in West Milford, New Jersey. Not far from you. I know. Up.
That's not far from me at all.
Well, New Jersey, nothing is that far from anyone in New Jersey.
Well, I mean, it can be. It can be.
Yeah, I was just talking about Ahsoka.
I heard. Yeah, I'm all up to date.
It's an interesting show. Not the best, not the worst, but it's
I like it. The first 2 episodes were okay. The third one I wasn't thrilled with. Fourth was good. Fifth was better.
Fifth was
good.
the one I think I was just talking about.
The one with Anakin.
Yes. Holy shit.
cried.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That was
He made fun
fucking
of me
awesome.
because I cried.
I mean,
I was like, "Oh my god, it's Anakin!"
I am so
He's like, "Are
happy
you
now.
crying right now? Shut up."
I'm so happy that Hayden Christensen is getting the respect and love for that role
Yep.
that he deserved, even back
He's
then.
so fucking hot. Oh my god, so hot.
I mean, I was just I heard this. I wish I could find it. It was this video where they were talking about, you know, how they don't. He doesn't explicitly say, "Here's the lesson I'm teaching you." In that, it's kind of, and Dave Filoni kind of does this. He does very subtle. You have to kind of read between the lines with Dave Filoni's shows, and it's this idea of Anakin was teaching Ahsoka the lesson that he learned from Luke, and that is when to put the lightsaber down. Because, and it goes back to Return of the Jedi when Luke has Vader dead to rights. You know, Vader's on the ground. He's cut off his hand just moments before, and you get that great line from Palpatine, "Do it," you know, like, "Do it, take his place," and all that. And he turns the lightsaber off. He's like, "No, I'm a Jedi like my father." That lesson taught Anakin something he was never able to do in the Clone Wars, or even his time before as a Padawan. He was always the ignite lightsaber first, ask questions later kind of Jedi, right? He
was all impulse.
Yeah,
that's what they tried to show, is that darkness. One of the signs of darkness is that you're impulsive. You don't think about others. You only put yourself first. And basically, you're like the narcissist to end all narcissists.
Oh, and he was,
and that makes you evil. So sorry, I want my coconut water.
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, I mean, this is what his third series. I think Hayden Christensen has done 2 or 3 series now for Disney Plus as Anakin and Vader. And he was in Rogue One. He was Vader in Rogue One as well.
Yes, he was. That was the first time in like a long time he got to put on the suit.
Yeah, he said it was just chilling when he saw himself in the suit again. But
I mean, that's got to be like, because that shit is heavy. It's
heavy.
Yeah.
I bet it was. What was that? What was the droid in Rogue One? I can never remember that.
Oh, I don't remember its name.
But
in Rogue One, no, I don't. That's the one that was played by that chick. No, I don't remember what it is.
By Alan Tudyk. No, Alan Tudyk played him.
Oh, that's right. The chick was the one in Solo.
Yes, that was from the
Lando's.
Chick,
yeah.
Oh.
But do people not realize that? Yeah, she gave up everything, but she downloaded everything that she was into the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Like, that's what made that fucking thing run so goddamn quick, because she was thinking when they were like, somebody hit this, somebody hit that. She's like, yeah, what? Somebody hit it so I can do what I need to do, please. Well, I'll tell you, I've intentionally avoided the Disney Star Wars trilogy. I checked on Mando for a season, but I wasn't aware they'd been casting him. Of course.
Yeah. I'd say Mandalorian season 1 was almost the best Star Wars we've had since the original trilogy.
K2XO.
Yeah, K2SO. There's a story. I mean, Alan Tudyk shared a story of.
I thought it was an X. I can't see shit.
Yeah, he shared
K2SO.
The actor who played
he met Anthony Daniels. Let's go.
He met Anthony Daniels, who played C-3PO. And he's like, Alan Tudyk says to him, he's like, "Oh, I'm playing the droid in Star Wars too." He's like, "Oh, are you the bastard who gets to wear the motion capture suit?" And he said, "Yes, sir." Anthony Daniels just walks off in a huff.
I mean,
But
Anthony Edwards,
it's
he took
'cause
like
you gotta-
a lot of fucking injuries with that C-3PO suit. The first one, it was like the
it was just
shin plate fell and dug into it, was cutting into the top of his foot, and every time he moved, it was worse.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, come on.
Yeah. And just think that back then they had a little person in the R2 costume. R2 was a costume. It was only the prequel movies that they had him remote controlled. And funny enough, it was Grant Imahara from Mythbusters who built the R2 units for the prequel series of movies. But getting back to Anakin, since her leaving the Order, Ahsoka became really jaded, and she was kind of the same way because she was raised in a time where originally Jedi's were supposed to be peacekeepers, not soldiers. Yeah. And she was basically raised in that time. She was, for her, the idea of a Jedi completely flipped.
Mm-hmm.
And they had no business running the war, in my opinion. The Clone War should not have
and
been.
She also experienced a lot of discrimination at their hands. I mean, they had no problem thinking her capable of murder. They had no problem like putting her on display and like, you know, everybody, you know, like judging her and whatever when she knew she was innocent, and they just would not listen.
Anakin was the only one who thought she was innocent.
Because he knows what it's like to be put on the spot and been like, you know what? We want you to be this, but you're this, so we're unhappy with you. Like they just wouldn't let him be himself, wouldn't let him save his mother, like all that kind of stuff.
And you know, from a genetic standpoint, the idea of Jedi's not being able to have families, because we've seen so many examples of family lines being so strong in the Force. You know, there's one of the masters on the.
You can't have a family though because attachment isn't good. You're not allowed to have attachment. Attachment leads to possession. Possession leads to want. Want leads to fear. All that kind of shit. Because you're always afraid of what somebody's going to take from you. What does Yoda say? You have to learn to let them go. Fuck you. I don't want to let them go.
Well, in the expanded universe, when Luke was rebuilding the Jedi Order, he realized that exact reason, that no attachment ideal that the old order had, was the exact reason that Anakin fell. Because he was so worried about losing Padme, which it was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Well, the baby, he only knew one.
It was this self-fulfilling prophecy that Anakin was afraid of. And if he would have been able to sit with Yoda or Mace or any of these other, or even Obi-Wan, and explain to him what was going on, I think it would have been so much more different. But the Jedi, in their closed-mindedness, the Jedi were one of the worst
cults.
Yes,
but they were,
because that's exactly what they were. If you, if you were another Force-sensitive religious group, they would hunt you down. There's a lot of instances in the expanded universe of them wiping out other Force groups.
Talk about attachment. They all had an attachment. That's what I don't get. The double speak. Don't form attachments, yet they're completely attached to their fucking laws. They will not like act outside of them. Don't only deal in absolutes. That's an absolute statement you just made. So like, what the fuck?
That's what pissed me off.
It shows the hypocrisy.
In the Book of Boba Fett, when you're seeing Grogu with Luke, and Luke gives him the choice between being a Mandalorian or a Jedi. No, you wouldn't. No, there's no reason Luke should have done that. None at all.
No, he was being a dick. He was being a complete fucking dick. He was going with the doctrine.
Yes, exactly.
He was going with the doctrine.
Bad blood between Jedi and Mandalorians could have been
a
bridge could have been created.
A couple months researching, like learning about.
Luke,
how is it that he went into training for only a couple months and he's like this proficient and knows all this shit, but yet Yoda was incapable of giving a straight answer, so I don't know how he got that information.
Well,
And I
actually,
don't know how he understood it.
by the time the Mandalorian comes around, because the Mandalorian is set about 9 or 10 years after the Battle of Yavin, or the Battle of Endor, and
I know what you
between
meant.
each
Go ahead.
movie is about probably 4 or 5 years. So he'd been training really, I would say maybe 15 years by the point of the Mandalorian. I'm gonna keep out the years between episodes 4 and 5, because he really wasn't. He was more concerned about the rebellion between New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back, because he didn't really start his training until he met Yoda.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Crystal. Let's see.
Crystal.
I think Ahsoka is a great story from Star Wars, which is it's precisely why I don't trust Star Wars to handle it well. Yeah. And one thing that pissed me off in the first episode was how it ended. How in the hell did Sabine fucking survive a direct lightsaber shot through the heart?
I don't know. They pulled that shit in the Obi-Wan thing.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled that there when the one guy got like run through, and he's like, "I'm not that easy to kill." Motherfucker, he like got you right through the heart. Is your heart relocated? Like, what the hell?
Well, it's like in the Book of Boba
They
Fett,
killed
where
T like that.
they killed Qui-Gon like that.
Yeah, but Shock T was a deleted scene, but that was from the third movie.
Yeah. But it's like Qui-Gon dies instantly, but Sabine, you're able to get her out from instantly. The well, it died within a few minutes, let's say then.
Okay, but he died within a few minutes. If somebody put a lightsaber through either of our hearts, we'd be dead instantly. So something, maybe it cauterizes or whatever, and then they just like expire slowly.
Oh yeah, it does. It does, because
well, I mean, I see what it could do to a blast door. I wouldn't fucking want that thing put through me. Oh my god.
That's why Anakin was able to survive getting his arm chopped off, because it cauterized.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that pissed me off, okay, Qui-Gon died within minutes of the same kind of injury, but Sabine, who's in the middle of nowhere, she's miles outside the city.
She's alone. A much tinier target, so everything is there's more stuff in one place.
Yeah, she's alone, but they can get there. They have time to get there, get her to the hospital and save her. I didn't get it. I'm like, what the? Come on.
Listen, there's so many fucking plot holes. You could drive a van through each and every one of them. At this point, I'm just happy they're being slightly fucking true to the story. Because really, at this point, it's like, okay, we started watching Ahsoka winning and he was like, "You want to watch? We'll watch it together." I was like, "All right, let's see how they fuck this one up for me." And he just laughed. I was like, "I'm just saying, like, I've been disappointed in this fucking entire platform since I got it. The only thing I saw in here that was worthwhile was What If, Loki, and Hamilton. That was it. Everything else was like."
I liked Loki. I liked it. A lot of people
starts next week.
Yes, I'm looking forward to it, and how I'm
so excited.
I'm wondering how they're gonna play Kang now that the guy who played him has been kicked out.
He's been kicked out.
Oh, they fired his ass.
Why?
He was supposedly. It came out that he was beating. I think I can't remember if it was girlfriend or wife, but it's one of those. I've also heard that it was one of those instances where, like, she lied, but too late for that shit. And
Disney's got a habit of firing people that have been lied upon.
Yes,
Gina Carano. I don't think she said anything wrong.
No,
she said didn't. Beep, pop, boop.
But
and it was like,
the thing that
Cancel.
she said
Why?
about, she said basically, like, remember
I
in
know what she
German,
said, but
but it
after
was
that,
funny.
when they responded, she was just like, she didn't come back all nasty. She said beep bop boop, as if you're all fucking robots.
But it was funny. Pedro Pascal said the same, pretty much the same thing, and he's still,
But he's Pedro Pascal.
yeah,
He's much bigger than the other one,
more-
and he's in, like multiple friggin' Disney things. Does Disney own HBO? I can't remember. Or is Warner Brothers? Warner Brothers owns HBO, right? Because they show all like the DC and Harry Potter's on HBO Max.
yeah. So I think
They don't
it's,
show. Yeah.
it's Warner Brothers. Yeah, Warner Brothers owns HBO, which doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me if they're showing Harry Potter and all the DC stuff. Yeah, but Jacob has a point. Gina didn't lie on. Gina spoke up against the scriptures. Yeah, you can't do that, because I heard an interview. She did an interview right after where she spoke about it. They sent a sensitivity trainer to her house, and they spent like an hour talking, and the therapist or whatever you want to call him was like, "You're not a bad person. This is ridiculous." But they seem still into the fight.
But they're gonna do it to Jordan Peterson too, up in Canada. Like they said that he needs to go to the social media sensitivity
Re-education
training
camp. Yeah.
because of his politics. What do his politics have to do with the teaching? He's still teaching the same thing. He's still teaching truth, but you don't like it because you don't like his politics, because he doesn't like Trudeau, because he speaks up and says Trudeau's an idiot and his country is being run by tyrants.
He's very outspoken against personal pronouns, that kind of thing. Very against the woke agenda. Like he doesn't mind people picking their pronouns. Jordan Peterson doesn't like it when he's forced to accept
I don't like it either. You can pick whatever pronouns you want. One, don't ask me to like call you that, because unless we're close, we're not going to have that many run-ins. It shouldn't fucking matter to you what I say. Two, who are you to tell me how I identify you? Because you're going to come up with any adjectives you want for me. I can't dispute them. I can't make you stop saying them. Like, if you're going to call me for what you see, then I got to kind of accept that those are the adjectives, that fit what you see. That's your perception.
Jacob, that company, if they stopped with the culture war, would lose so much more money than they already are. There's no way that's going to change.
Do you know that they have to make $380 million on that new Snow White to break even?
Yeah.
Just to break even. They're looking at like pirate numbers that they want to come in just to break even. That's never going to make pirate numbers. First of all, nobody likes her face. She's got the kind of face you want to punch.
It's her attitude.
She's just an ass. But you can see it in her face. She's she's a snob. She's a snob.
You were in a crappy remake of West Side Story. That's all anyone knows you from.
I didn't know she was in that. That movie sucked.
Yeah, I refuse to watch it.
I watched it just to see the difference. And I was like, wow, like, this is so not like the original. I could watch the original 1,000 times. But
Suzanne,
that new one? No.
Suzanne, to answer your question, nothing and jack shit. My family, for some reason, they have it in their minds that birthdays aren't very important. Don't know why. I think it's money.
Listen, nerd, how'd I spend my last birthday? On other people's streams, making them super chats. Do you think I ever got anything? Nope.
I gave you a beautiful limerick. Thank you very much.
Yes, you did. No, but I mean, like,
I know.
People literally got paid to have me on their goddamn stream for my birthday.
I know.
And I never saw a penny of that. That's rude. That's just rude.
If I was her, I would never watch anything Disney again. I would never even look at a mouse again if I was Gina Carano after the shit they pulled with her. spent probably 3 or 4 years building up her character, making money off her character, just to do her wrong like that. We were supposed to have
her dirty.
We were supposed to have a Disney show called Rangers of the Republic, starring Cara Dune. She was the most badass character. People, I hate it when people are like, you just don't like strong female characters. Bitch, Princess Leia, Gina Carano, Ripley, Celine from fucking Underworld, Sarah Connor. I can name half a dozen off the top of my head. Foxy Brown. Strong characters that I love because they're not assholes. They're not assholes to the other characters.
Oh,
no, you had one of my favorite sequences in Star Wars was when Cara Dune fights Mando for the first time. When they meet for the first time at that Force pub, and they're just so evenly matched. I'm like, that is so fucking badass. And they just look at each other when they see Grogu just sitting there slurping his soup, watching it. He's like, and Mando just looks at her and says, "You want some soup?" And you're like, "Yeah, okay."
You want some? Oh, there you go.
Oh, thanks, winning. Appreciate it, brother.
But when forget it when they
Discord. Get off Discord.
Shut up.
I know. I think
I'm off Discord.
With Gina, she's glamorous. She's that old school glamorous. If you if you know what I mean. She kind of like that has a little meat on her bones, not the super skinny paper cut. If you hug them, kind of girl that we seen it in Hollywood nowadays.
Paper cut.
Like they're so bony that you feel like you're gonna cut yourself. They're so bony. I had a girlfriend like that.
Yeah, I ain't got that problem.
See, I like girls with a little more meat on their butt. I like.
I'm bouncy.
See, that's what I like. I don't like. I had a girlfriend who I could literally hug her and touch my elbows. She was so skinny. I felt like I was gonna break her. She'd probably
this conversation is making me uncomfortable. What?
But okay, me saying I like a girl with little meat on her bones. But the shit you tell me all the time. Come on now.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't speak your language.
Do I hear a thunderstorm approaching, Shelly? In over it because God's gonna strike you with lightning for lying like that.
Don't joke, because I got that fucking tropical storm Ophelia knocking on my door for the next 2 days.
Oh joy!
They were like, "Oh yeah, expect 2 to 3 inches of rainfall an hour." I was like, "Great." Then they followed up with, "We can only handle 0.8 inches per hour." Motherfuckers. So in other words, you're telling me I'm gonna lose, like whatever. And then I got the email. Please be advised, you have to. The winds are very bad, and the rain will be a deluge.
0.8 inches an hour.
They tell you to anchor down like your patio furniture and bring in your grills and stuff like that. Bring in the plants, otherwise they're gonna like be flying off balconies and shit. And they're like, and be prepared. Keep all electronic devices fully charged as we may lose power. They never say we're gonna lose power. I'm like, you fuck. If you say we're gonna, like, maybe is just wait for it. Wait for it, wait for it, wait for it.
Oh, well, correction from earlier. I was asked what I got for my birthday, and I got myself something for my birthday because I'm a.
Oh, you finally went and got the pocket pussy.
What makes you think I didn't have one before?
Because you don't sound like you used one. You would be a much happier person. I'm just saying, nerd.
No, I was being a little man child and got a Lego set. And I will show you.
What'd you get?
I will show you because I absolutely love it. I saw this when I was in the dollar store a few months ago. I'm like, when I got paid up, I'm like, please still have it. Please still be there. Hold on. Let me bring it up. Oh, what the fuck? Oh, there it is. So many windows open.
What the hell, man? I got
Okay.
sunshine on a cloudy day.
It's
Where you
Aston
find it?
Martin. The Aston Martin DB5 from Skyfall.
Ah,
James Bond
very
car.
nice.
I want this. It's the first. I used to collect Legos because I'm a man child. You know, at least it's not a sword to
I
stab my
collected
girlfriend.
Hess trucks. So
At least it's
until
not a
like
sword.
2 years ago.
At least it's not a sword to stab somebody with, Shelly. But it's just it's something that
Is it
relaxes
supposed
me.
to all be that color?
Yeah, that's the color of the Aston Martin, gray and silver.
Looks like a citron.
But that it's
Just saying.
on my it's on my bucket list to see one because it's my favorite James Bond car. I wish it was the Sean Connery version, but basically it's the same car. You know, you had it was our introduction to the awesome gadgets. You know, the ejector seat, the missiles and guns on the car in Goldfinger. Oh, it was so good.
Memento Mori said, I think, meaning Gina Carano, she's good looking.
Yeah.
Looks like she'd be fun to wrestle with her. I will wrestle with her all day. That is exactly my type of female.
I will. Yes. I will throw that fight and let her pin me as much as she wants.
Be like, hi, baby, throw me over your shoulder so I don't have to walk home. Like,
because the first thing I remember her singing, the first thing I can think of off the top of my head was that I remember seeing was she was Angel Dust in the first Deadpool movie.
Yep. And I loved her then. Oh, with the match in her mouth and everything. Oh, she was so hot.
Yeah.
So fucking hot.
And I love the part where her and Colossus are just beating the shit out of each other.
Her boobie comes out.
But you don't see it. I was like, no. Damn you, Colossus.
She's like, oh, so sweet. Thank you. Boom. Punches him right in the dick. Like, all right, that's my girl. That's what I would have done.
I remember I never played Command and Conquer, but she played like they would have. Those were the games that they had live action cutscenes. And she was, I think, a Soviet sniper or something.
Oh, she looks like she could be one of the like KGB whatevers.
Yeah. But so it's like there's some getting back to Ahsoka. There's something that I like about like I don't like the guy. Did you watch last week's too? You're caught up, right?
I'm all caught up. Yeah.
We had Space Jesus. Now we have Space Moses. Wait, where is it? There it is. I need to fucking. Do you know they're always like, oh, Obi-Wan Space Jesus. Now they're saying Ezra is Space Moses. I can see it, can't you? And I'm like, they played it down so much. Oh, I spent a decade looking for you, and all you get is this fucking hug. There's one little hug. It's like, come on, like show a little emotion when you just found your best friend, someone's like your brother. Which I'm not gonna lie, I shipped Ezra and Sabine. I think they should have gotten together.
They look like they're related, nerd. 1 second. Winning. I did all the posts. So what you call it? All the ones I usually do are done. Check your Twitter. Nerd, did you notice that metal shirt he's wearing? Do you know what it's made out of?
Supposedly it's made of stormtrooper tags. Like ID tags. But
I always felt bad for the stormtroopers because it's not like, they knew what the fuck was going on behind the scenes. They were just following orders. Yeah. Correct. Look, you get a cookie for your birthday.
Yeah, Joey.
You want a cookie, nerd? I'll get you a cookie.
No, I'm good. No, Yeah,
Taka-cha.
I heard that, but
He's like,
and the actor who's playing Thrawn is the same guy who did the voice acting for Thrawn in Rebels,
mm.
and he looks horrible with that little pot belly of his.
Mm.
I mean, when Thrawn walked out, I was so like, it's like, is that it? Really? You have a Star Destroyer getting a proctology test, and that's all we get from fucking Thrawn is him walking out like a douchebag, no fanfare, no nothing.
Oh crap!
Well, there's a theory.
There's a what?
There's a theory talking about what Memento says they were bad shots, so no surprise there. Well, that is kind of conflicted with a line from A New Hope when they come across the destroyed sandcrawler and Obi-Wan says it's too precise to be sand people. They must be stormtroopers. So there's a lot of theory like, Vader ordered them to capture Luke instead of kill him. So they were trying to like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure he did.
That's why they never shot anything. But it's like okay, then how do they explain like the fucking Empire falling to teddy bears with sticks? That's one thing that bugged me about.
Unexpected?
Go ahead. I guess.
I mean, would you expect to be attacked by teddy bears from trees? Come on now.
I guess maybe that's what people say.
Come on, midgets, little people, whatever the hell you want.
Well, Warwick Davis, who played
friggin' like teddy bears, little rabid teddy bears.
Warwick Davis played who played Flitwick in the Harry Potter movies. He was just a kid. He was probably 7 or 8. He played the Wookiee who befriends Princess Leia, and in the last
the Ewok, not the Wookiee.
The Ewok. Mm-hmm. God, I don't deserve to be called a nerd after that.
No, you really don't. That's such a fuck up.
That was just bad.
For shame. You're lucky it's your birthday. Did you guys sing to Nerd? Did they sing to you?
Yes. Yeah. Yes, they did.
They did? Are you sure?
No.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, my nerd. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, nerd.
Thank you.
See, that wasn't bad.
No. Better than if it was a high-pitched chipmunk.
Oh, we shall not speak its name.
There's a bunch of psych research around. Yeah, Jacob has a good point. Says, so funny story about the stormtroopers' bad aim. Assuming that the soldiers were drafted, it adds up historically. In Vietnam, our drafted soldiers intentionally aimed above the enemies. Huh. I did not know that. That's interesting.
How dare you?
But yeah, they wouldn't have as much training. And yeah, a lot with and we saw that in the Bad Batch, that when they start in the years after the Clone Wars, they started cycling out people. For regular people, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And regular people in cheaper equipment.
Mm-hmm. With
so that
kind of dubious orders.
Yeah. Yes.
Go after them, but don't kill them. Just stun them. But make sure you bring them back. But if you have to kill them, kill them. But don't. But just stun them. Like, what do you fucking want me to do? What do I set this shit?
Like, you're crackling again.
I don't care.
I do.
I know.
But it's a decent show. I will say this to winning. It's a decent show. It's not the worst. It's not the best. I thought they could have done a little bit better casting. I was saying earlier that Hera, I think, is played by they're playing her too young. I think they should have gotten maybe a little older actress than Mary Elizabeth Winstead to play her. because it's been 10 years since we've seen her, but she looks even younger than she did in Rebels.
She's got such a baby face.
She's
a
such a
pixie.
big dump trunk too. Holy shit!
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm.
But I said
know.
earlier, I understand how difficult it is to take characters from animation and translate them into live action. You're
What's
not
the
going to
name
get
of the little blonde?
little blonde in Bad Batch.
Yeah, the little blonde.
Omega.
No, in Ahsoka. The cute little blonde. The mean one.
I don't know. The only little person I know is Jason, her son.
No, not little person. I didn't say little person. I said blonde.
The Dark Jedi. It's the Dark Jedi girl, woman. I can never remember her. I can never remember her name. Shin Hati. She's an original character for the show. Shin Hati. She's like, and I do love the fact that they got David Tennant to come back as Hu Yang from the Clone Wars.
Yeah, that was
because he's my favorite. Shin.
Shin Hati.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an ass. Whatever. She's hot. Tell us again. We didn't notice.
You got.
I'm trying to do like 4 things at once here. Keep talking, nerd. What are you doing? Dead air. Dead air. Dead air.
That's okay. Mary Elizabeth Weinstein, who I loved in Sky High and all those other shows, other movies. Probably wasn't hard for her to get the job considering who her husband is, with her being married to Ewan McGregor. But
that's his wife?
Yep.
The little blonde.
No, Hera. Hera actress is his wife.
Which one is Hera?
The green General Syndulla, the green lady.
Ah, okay. Yeah, the one that was with the kid.
Yeah. And her son, he has force powers, and she doesn't want him to be a Jedi because his father was killed.
She needs to get over it.
Yeah, she does. And that goes back to the point I made earlier. If you have a family powerful in the force, they get stronger as that family line goes down, because we saw how Kanan was powerful, and now we're seeing his son, who's just as powerful and half the age. So it was so stupid for the Jedi to decide not to have kids.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's their thing. And you can't have loyalty to anybody but us, not even to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could leave a brother behind, you could leave somebody behind. No, that's the antithesis of everything that we teach our troops. What are some of the sayings? Leave nobody left behind and shit like that. Like, they never do that. How do you build a rapport with somebody doing something like that?
That goes back to the fact that there's Jedis were not military. They should not have been running the military like they did. One, I think it's too much power in one group. I can understand the Senate's kind of and the public's kind of misgivings, kind of nervousness about the Jedi. I can understand their point of view, because you don't take the police force and put them in charge of an army and expect things to go smoothly. You might win, but a lot of shit will go down before you do. And we saw that with the Jedi. We saw a lot of times their complete lack and disregard to the clones. Like, there was one Jedi master, he ended up becoming a Sith. But he was that big one that had like 2 double-bladed lightsabers because he had 4 arms or something, if I remember right. I cannot remember his name. But he just threw him to the meat grinder. To him, clones were disposable. And that supposedly that was not a uncommon.
You talking about
way.
General Grievous?
No. It was in the Clone Wars. Look him up. Krell. He had
Okay.
he was. You remember in episode 2 where when Obi-Wan goes to that diner and he meets his friend Dex, and Dex is this.
Yes.
He's the same kind of alien as him, but he has
Okay.
two giant double-bladed lightsabers, and he does not care. To him, the clones are disposable. He's just thrown them into the meat grinder, and Rex and the 501st, they actually mutiny against him, and it turns out he's become a Sith. And Pong Krell was his name.
Awesome.
If this is the perfect opportunity for them to introduce the Yozang Vong. The Yuzang Vong were a race from another galaxy in the extended universe that were basically immune to the Force. If that is not what he's sensing, I'm going to fucking riot, because this would be the perfect example. They're in another galaxy. It's the perfect time, perfect way to introduce these amazing baddies.
You could say that, Jacob.
It was one. Yes. Yeah, because
But that was by design.
Yeah, because you got to realize the Battle of
wanted
Geonosis,
them in place so they could take the blame and they could be attacked by his clones.
And from an outsider's point of view,
ordered them.
Yeah, no, wasn't him.
It went through to him because he's the one who had Order 66 put in.
Yes, and
they were programmed with it, so they had to be programmed from conception, basically, because that's when their programming begins.
And the Battle of Geonosis happened so fast, so out of the blue, that they had no other choice. And I think Palpatine was designing it that way. Oh, yes, winning, yes. That would be great too.
That was disturbing.
That any way that they could. Abeloth is kind of like the devil in the Star Wars universe.
And
if I remember it, you remember in Clone Wars when Anakin met the Force beings, the father, son, and daughter. I think they were called.
You mean the original,
It was in Clone Wars. The
originals. Yeah.
Supposedly, Abeloth was created from a woman. She something. I need to do a video on this. I'll need to look that up. But yeah,
because the sister died, but apparently her consciousness and power went into someone, went into another female. So who did that go into? Because she doesn't. Supposedly, she's not able to die. Even if her body gives out, her spirit continues on and keeps with it the knowledge and power for somebody that's worthy.
Thank you, Suzanne.
I guess she doesn't have to be in a vessel all the time.
Yeah, the ones. Yeah, supposedly, Abeloth, she's imprisoned in the.
I knew it was an O.
In the center of the universe, Star Wars galaxy, and she's like the devil almost. That would be. Well, why would he be? Why would he be?
Most evil beings in lore come from the most powerful and pure.
Yeah,
right. Because they say double the pride, double the fall.
She wanted to be like the mother, but she knew that she wasn't like the father, son, and daughter. She tried to become like them, and it went horribly wrong. If I remember my lore right. Oh God, that would be so awesome. But like I said, Ahsoka, it's good, but it's not the best. Like I said, I think there are it is like Star Wars Rebels without the men. Because the only rebel characters we have are Sabine and Hera. We saw Zeb in one episode for like 5 seconds of The Mandalorian. Kanan's dead. We haven't seen that Imperial defector guy. I can't remember his name. Oh God, I need to do better research. Holy shit! This is what happens when you just spew stuff out.
All right, Lovey. I have to go
Yes,
and
go.
do my thing.
All
But I want to
right.
spend some time with you. Happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
I love you very much, nerd.
Love you too. What are you gonna have got coming up?
What do I have coming up? Just
Chill yourself.
Winning's doing a show with Steve Gosney in like 6 minutes on his channel, on Winning's channel, Winning Reality. Tomorrow I will be doing the old school documentary watch party on Sundays at, I don't know what time. He knows what time. I can't keep track of the times. I think it's like 7:30, 8 o'clock. I don't know. He'll tell me when to show up. But we're doing that. That's always fun. This one's supposed to be really fun. I don't remember what it's on. But he told me I'll have a good time. So yay. And then Monday, Wednesday, Friday is my show, 8 in the morning.
Yep.
Coffee it's a good way and to Chaos with T3. I promise to give you both. So
it's a lot of chaos. Not kidding. If it wasn't chaotic,
yeah. Well, this week might be an emotional week because I plan on really like trying to pull that Band-Aid off as quick as I can.
Okay.
So
thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
I love you, nerd. I don't give you all the attention you need, but I give you all the attention you deserve. No kidding. I love you. I hope your parents do something for you because otherwise, kick them in the ass. Thank you.
Jacob's got you. All right, you'll go do your thing.
All right. Yes. I love you. Bye, chat. Bye, everybody. Mwah, 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 mwah. Bye. Adios.
Bye. So, I'm really glad she came. It's always fun talking with Shelly. But, yeah, the thing with the thing that I think people hated the most when Disney took over Star Wars, that they did not take enough from the extended universe. We've had probably 30 years of material that they could have used for the extended universe. That we had one of the characters I wish they would have had was Mara Jade Skywalker, Luke's wife. But we're not going to have that now because Luke, he still had that connection issue that his order is still going to have that connection and the attachment issue that the old order had that really brought around their demise. I have said this over again. If they would have, like I said to Shelly, if they would have taken the time to sit with Anakin and talk with him to deal with these issues instead of saying, "Oh, trust the Force" or listen to your trust the Force and all that crap, they could have saved themselves and the Republic. And the lesson that Luke taught Anakin, who in turn taught Ahsoka, it brought Ahsoka back from that soldier mentality to the peacekeeping kind of Jedi that she was meant to be. Like I said, the Jedis were not soldiers. They were not military. They should not have been head of the military. Hey, thanks for coming, Jacob. Yeah, I'll be lurking around, if not in the chats. Thanks, dude. It's the lesson that Obi-Wan tried to teach Anakin that he failed to teach. Because Obi-Wan was not a good teacher. Obi-Wan was too strict. He was too strict and too adherent to the Jedi code, unlike Qui-Gon, who would bend the rules. Obi-Wan even said to him, he said, "Master, if you would just do what you're told, you'd be on the council." And then Obi-Wan Qui-Gon looks at him and said, "I'll do what I feel is right." and that I did that mentality. A lot of people feel that Qui-Gon was more of a gray Jedi than an actual Jedi, or a light side or a dark side Jedi. And I tend to think that if there would have been more gray Jedi, more people willing to to bend the rules, galactic history in Star Wars would have been very, very different. But all in all, I give maybe Ahsoka a 7 out of 10. They have some really great moments with Anakin and Hugh Wang. Hugh Yang. I can't say his name. Tenet bot. I guess you could say Tenet droid. He's been so funny. His straightforwardness, like him just flat out telling Sabine, "You're the worst student I've ever had." Yeah. Oh, Lord, woman. It has been a while, that's for sure. I'm kidding. Oh. Thank you, Shelly. I'll see you in a little while, I guess. I'll be over in the listening and lurking in chat. Crazy. But that, I think the lesson that Anakin taught Ahsoka is one that she needed to learn before. Okay, Jesus Christ. There once was a boy named Nerd. His knowledge of sci-fi was absurd. He went off to work where he got paid. Here's to hoping he soon also gets laid. Happy birthday. Thank you, Shelly. You happy now? Oh, Lord. God help me. Thank you for that, Shelly. Thank you. I really do like that. That made me chuckle. But I think it's a lesson a lot of people, a lot of these are heroes need to learn is when not to fight, when to fight, and when not to fight, And Ahsoka having gone up through the order when it was really not what it meant to be. Yeah. Love you back. But it was a lesson she was not, through her circumstances, was not able to learn. One, because her master never learned it himself. And I think when Anakin, and I say Anakin, realized that when he was on his back, Luke with his saber to his neck, through his throat, Luke could have ended Vader right then and there. And when he turned it off, it was like I feel like him turning off Luke turning off his lightsaber turned off the darkness in Anakin. I think that was the moment he came back from being Darth Vader to Anakin Skywalker. Because that is the moment he decided, this is my son. I have to save my son. And that's what he did. And it was a lesson he learned the hard way that I don't think he wanted to see Ahsoka. Because I think he probably saw a lot of himself in Ahsoka and what Ahsoka was going through. So that was a lesson they both needed to be taught. And there's another thing that I don't agree with. A lot of people are going on like, oh, well, she couldn't train Grogu, but she could train Sabine. What the hell is that? You got to realize she trained Sabine before she met Grogu, Baby Yoda. She'd already failed at being a teacher before she met Din Djarin and Baby Yoda. So it's not that she couldn't train him but wanted to train Sabine. No, she did. She knew she failed with Sabine, and I think we're seeing a little more of that storyline, that those feelings progress, and seeing maybe that she didn't. Maybe she didn't fail as bad as she thought she did, but she didn't want to make the same mistakes as she with Grogu as she did with Sabine. Not that. So that criticism is, I think, completely wrong, because that would mean that that she would have had to make Grogu first before she trained Sabine, but it was the other way around. She failed at training Sabine before she met Grogu, which made her feel like she couldn't train Grogu, so that's why she sent him off to find Luke. But criticism is fine as long as it's done fairly and honestly, and I don't think that criticism, like, oh, she was willing to train Sabine, but why wouldn't she train Grogu? That's not fair, because, like I said, she failed with Sabine first before she met Grogu, not vice versa. So it's a good show. It's decent. It's not the best. Like I said, I give it about a 7 out of 10. So maybe, hopefully, with Ezra being found, Ahsoka and on her way, that it might, hopefully it'll pick up, because I would love to see how they handle Thrawn, with what we already know happens with the New Order, or maybe Thrawn comes back and has something to do with Snoke and Palpatine, finding Palpatine. We don't know. Hopefully, we'll find out within the next 2 weeks and 2 episodes. But so I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you for coming here. Thank you for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for letting me rant. Thanks to Talking Trash and Truths for coming on. If you're not subscribed to her, go subscribe to her for some really deep and really interesting topics and conversations about mental health, about just health in general. She has a great story. Story that she tells of her life. So, as always, find your passion and nerd out about it. I'm the Outpost Nerd. I'm gone.